Welcome back to the Tactical Club. Imagine this. Back in 2021, if someone had predicted Lionel Messi would drag Argentina to World Cup glory, you'd have checked their pulse. Then Qatar happened. The fairy tale wrote itself. Now here's where it gets fascinating. After that tournament, Wesley Sneijder dropped a bombshell. He claimed Portugal actually have a better shot at winning the 2026 World Cup than Argentina do. And once you examine Portugal's roster, their rising stars, their bench strength, their tournament know-how, his argument stops sounding crazy. Portugal have produced legends for generations. Eusebio in the 60s, Luis Figo in the early 2000s, and Cristiano Ronaldo carrying the nation for nearly 20 years. But here's the painful truth. Despite all that talent, they've never won a World Cup. Euros? Check. Nations League? Check. World Cup? Still waiting. Ronaldo himself probably stopped dreaming about this years ago. Most players his age are managing Sunday League teams. But Cristiano? The man is still hunting records, still scoring screamers, still acting like Father Time is just another defender. So today, let's explore a massive question. What if 2026 finally becomes Portugal's year? What if every piece clicks at exactly the right moment? Because if Portugal actually pulls this off, the football world won't just wobble. It will absolutely detonate. All right, let's start with the elephant in every room. Cristiano Ronaldo. The first major reason Portugal could shock the world in 2026 is actually the Ronaldo situation itself. Most fans don't lose sleep over the Nations League. Half the football universe treats it like glorified friendlies. But for Ronaldo and Roberto Martinez, that trophy was a lifeline. Remember Euro 2024? The memes were brutal. Pundits calling for both captain and coach to walk the plank. Finished, over. Then Portugal won the Nations League, and suddenly the temperature dropped. That victory kept Martinez in the dugout and kept the armband on Ronaldo, which means CR7 is almost certainly leading Portugal into the 2026 World Cup at 41 years old. I know that sounds absurd. Your own knees crack when you stand up too fast. And yet here's Ronaldo preparing for another tournament. But here's where the plot thickens. Yes, Ronaldo has been scoring. 13 goals since the Euros is impressive. But in that massive qualifier away to Ireland, the pressure got to him. He snapped and got sent off. And what happened next? Portugal played without him and suddenly looked like they'd unlocked a cheat code. They demolished Armenia 9-1, playing some of the most fluid football in years. And everyone asked the same question. Are these guys actually better without him? When you study this squad, you start feeling like Ronaldo might need Portugal more than Portugal needs him. The young guns can sprint for 90 minutes, switch positions, press like maniacs. All things a 41-year-old simply cannot do. But here's the twist. Even if Ronaldo misses a game or two, Martinez isn't benching him long-term. He's built this system around Ronaldo for years. So Portugal enters this tournament with an aging captain, a risky tactical approach, a squad that might have outgrown him, and a coach who refuses to change. And sometimes football loves that kind of chaos. Now let's talk about the real engine behind this theory, the squad itself. Because when you look past Ronaldo, you realize this Portugal team is built like a luxury sports car. First, the midfield. Bruno Fernandes and Bernardo Silva. One sprays passes like a quarterback. The other glides past defenders like he's on skates. They don't just create chances, they dictate entire games. Then look at the attack. João Felix can unlock any defense. Rafael Leao runs like he's got a turbo button. This is no longer a one-man show. And defensively, Ruben Dias organizes like a general. Nuno Mendes bombs forward with endless stamina. Cancelo plays fullback, midfielder, and magician all at once. And behind them stands Diego Costa, calm, reliable, the kind of keeper who makes tournament-defining saves. So no, Portugal isn't coming for sightseeing. This roster is one of their deepest ever. On paper, they can trade blows with anyone. But here's the massive question. Can Ronaldo do what Messi did in Qatar? Because if he somehow leads this team all the way, the GOAT debate gets thrown into a blender. Portugal has the tools, the legs, the creativity, the depth. If everything lines up, they're not just contenders, they're legitimate threats. Another reason Portugal could go all the way is the mentality Martinez has forged. This team no longer relies solely on individual brilliance. They've developed resilience to survive chaos and still find ways to win. You saw it during qualifiers. Even in ugly matches, they stayed composed and trusted the system. That kind of steel is priceless at a World Cup. Martinez has blended young blood with veterans perfectly. He genuinely believes Ronaldo still adds value beyond goals, his presence, his standards, his obsession. At the same time, Martinez empowers younger players to shine. Tactically, Portugal have become unpredictable. They can shift gears depending on the opponent. Need to break a deep block? They've got creators. Need to defend a lead? The structure is there. And because the squad is so deep, Martinez can adjust mid-game without weakening the team. Then there's leadership. Ronaldo hasn't lost his hunger. That energy infects everyone around him. This Portugal side has already proven they can handle pressure. If they bring that same mindset to North America, they'll be a nightmare for any opponent. Now, let's discuss something fans always forget. Penalty shootouts. In a World Cup, you will face them. And here's where Portugal have a sneaky advantage. They're loaded with elite penalty takers, and they've got Diego Costa standing like a wall. First, the takers. Bruno Fernandes with that hop and skip technique. The man could take a penalty during an earthquake. Ronaldo can still smash a penalty with the confidence of someone who's done it 1,000 times. Bernardo Silva, João Felix, Rafael Leao. Even defenders like Diaz and Cancelo aren't afraid to step up. But the real difference maker is Diego Costa. This guy is becoming a penalty-saving monster. Quick reflexes, sharp instincts, the confidence to read a striker's body language. When a goalkeeper builds that reputation, it gives his team a psychological edge before the shootout even starts. If 2026 gives us a heart-stopping shootout, Portugal might be the team most ready for that moment. Let's have some fun here. Picture this. Cristiano Ronaldo walks into the White House like he owns the place. Cameras pan between Elon Musk and a cluster of billionaires. Then they swing over. There's Ronaldo, not on a pitch, but at a black-tie dinner in Washington, sitting feet away from Donald Trump and Saudi Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman. And across the table, Gianni Infantino himself, the FIFA president. You couldn't script a room with more potential influence. Nobody even knows why Ronaldo was there. Football ambassador? Celebrity guest? All we know is he flew across the Atlantic, walked into the East Room surrounded by politicians and billionaires, and fit right in. Now, here's where it gets interesting. Ronaldo is sitting next to people who pull the strings of global football. The US president, the Saudi powerhouse behind his Al Nasser contract, the FIFA president who oversees suspensions and rules. People instantly started joking, well, Portugal's definitely getting a penalty every game now. Portugal fans have been sweating over Ronaldo's potential World Cup suspension after that red card against Ireland. But then suddenly, there he is in a room where every powerful figure that could hypothetically ease that situation is clinking glasses 3 tables away. Completely innocent or not, it makes the whole thing feel like an only in 2025 story where sports, politics, and business mix together. Add Infantino smiling, Trump making jokes, MBS sitting proudly beside his most expensive asset, Ronaldo sipping champagne. Tell me that's not the most bizarre pre-World Cup scene ever imagined. Does any of this guarantee favorable calls? Of course not. But does it make people talk? Absolutely. At the very least, it adds a massive spotlight to every Portugal match. Every foul on Ronaldo will be scrutinized closer. Every VAR check will be debated. Referees know millions of eyes are laser focused, expecting something dramatic, and in tournaments, that pressure can tilt things. So, yeah, Portugal already have the players, the mentality, the tactics, the penalty specialists, but now they also have the most unexpected X factor of all. Ronaldo showing up at the most powerful dinner party on earth right before the biggest World Cup of his career. If football ever wanted a storyline, this is it. But what do you think? Could Ronaldo finally lift the one trophy that's escaped him his entire career? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Hit that like button if you enjoyed the breakdown, and make sure you subscribe to the Tactical Club so you don't miss the next deep dive. Thanks for watching, and let's see what 2026 has in store.